Hello. Today's video I'm doing a standard guide, beginner's guide really for Deadshotio. This game is probably pretty unheard of, but it's honestly a great game if you want to like play something during school or whatever on a school computer, because it's a browser game. Pretty fun to play too. But yeah, today I'm going to go over a few key concepts. So number one, what actually makes a good player? And it's these three things. One, it's movement, aim, and last one has to be game sense and awareness of map. So clearly my aim is off today. But for aim, right? You kind of want to have good crosshair placement, which if you play Valorant or something, it's kind of like this. You see how I peek this corner, and my crosshair would be where their head would be. That's what you want to do. In this game, hitting headshots is very important, especially if you play someone like Sniper or SMG. It's very important to hit those headshots, or else you're doing way less damage, and most of the time it can mean that you lose the fight. Next thing too for aim is flicking and of course tracking. These are pretty simple concepts. You see like that, I just did a micro flick like that. Knowing your sensitivity is very important. At school, or if you're playing on a computer you don't sure about, that can be pretty hard. You have a few options. You can either look up the type of mouse that is being used, or you can bring your own mouse from home if you have one. That way you can know your DPI. There's a website too, which is mouse-sensitivity.com. You can also look it up if you look up for a sensitivity converter, and you can actually, it's one of the few, I'm pretty sure maybe the only one, that actually allows you to convert to Deadshotio directly. That way, if you play like for example COD or something, you're able to easily convert your sensitivity, as long as you know your DPI from your main mouse and such. With that tracing too, tracking and flicking, it takes a lot of practice, but there's no real way to go about it aside from learning. If you play a game like Valorant or something, you can use the range a lot because it actually surprisingly carries over a lot. Just saying, you are going to be doing a lot of aiming while moving, and oh my gosh, you're going to do a lot of aiming while moving, so you need to learn how to do that. In range, that's like if you use Valorant, or if you play another game that has like a sort of range simulation, something like that, that's very good for practicing your tracking and such. Tracking while moving on a moving target, and also tracking while moving on a still target. Apart from that, I can't really say much. If you want to use mouse acceleration, I would recommend it. It's helped me a lot, but I guess not everyone likes it, especially since a lot of people feel it makes their aim worse. But I would generally recommend it, not just for this game, but also just for every other game in general. It's pretty great. Onto movement now. So there's a few bit of movement tech. So when you slide, right, you might see people jump a lot, like a whole lot, right? So when you slide, it has a pretty decent duration, but a pretty harsh cooldown. There's a tech you can do, which is this. So if you try this normally as like as a new player, let's say, it might look a bit like this. No, not like this. Something like that, right? It's not the best, but the trick to it is you want to slide, jump, and then press a direction key. It's like this. You can even do it backwards too. So if you're like playing an aggressive angle like this, boom, you can just run away like that. It's very useful against shotguns too, or just like backing off an angle. You practically have a jet dash, which if you play Valorant you would know about, which is like, it's very strong actually, especially if you hold corners like let's say, got caught off guard. Well, let's say if I'm holding an angle like this, boom, like that, I'm just off the corner, or I can go boom, then I've repositioned. Oh, that's a bit okay, I'm lagging, but you can easily just reposition like that, which is pretty great. Sorry, I'm talking, so I'm not the best right now. You can very easily reposition using it. It's very great overall. If you're using shotgun, actually, hold on, I need to die so I can change. If you're using shotgun, actually, there is a tech you can do, which is cool, which I found out quite a while ago actually, but it's shotgun boosting. So what you do is you jump, shoot while in the ground. Now overall, this is a great movement tech, and makes shotgun the most agile gun in the game. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it. But you can also get to places you normally can't, like up here. There's another spot on this map. I think, yeah, it's over here by the lift. This thing, yeah, you can get up here, so that you can do stuff like this. Back on to aim, actually, if you want to get better crosshair placement, what you can either do is you can go into a custom game and just practice trying to peek like this, you see, like that, so that when I peek it's on there. But you can also watch, like if you play a game like Valorant, once again, because surprisingly it's a good example, you can just practice your crosshair placement, and if you already have good crosshair placements from other games, it becomes a lot easier in this game. One thing to note though for crosshair placement is you need to account for people having a slide, because most people, myself included, will jump slide through a corner. So unless you have really good flicking, you might want to account for that. Instead of trying to hold a pixel angle like this, you want to hold something more like this, right? Pretty simple, fundamental. So like if I'm holding, I wouldn't hold an angle like this. I'd hold an angle more like this, unless I'm feeling really confident. So holding it like this, holding like this. I'm gonna push up. Just holding this angle in case someone pushes me. Peeking, crosshair placement, crosshair placement. Jazz, crosshair placement. Get my ready, so in case they try to jump me. Oh, they spawned behind me. But yeah, that's the whole point of it. Back on movement, you can shotgun boost like that, which is very useful, especially because you can actually, whenever you see, if you want to keep your speed, whenever you see the shift, the like slide button, you can start sliding, even if you're midair. So for example, if I did this, then I wait for the get to the ground and then slide, you're actually losing a lot of speed. So what you can do is this, wait, jump, like that. You can do it immediately. And you can basically just infinitely b-hop with shotgun. It's actually really strong. But yeah, and ultimately, unless your enemy is actually good at the game, most of the time it's just gonna be a free kill. So yeah, overall, shotgun's pretty strong because of that. Like the movement is like, he didn't even know I was there. I just came up from behind. Whoa. But that's pretty much it for movement. You just gotta get more familiar and just slide jump or just slide whenever possible. It's especially good if you know there's a sniper there, you most of the time will just want to like slide jump. You can also like what's it called, you can air strafe. Yeah, that's what it is. You can air strafe in this game, so it doesn't seem like it's much, but it's actually very important because your hitbox is huge. So unlike other games where your hitbox is like exactly your player avatar, they're pretty generous with the hitbox sizes actually. Because of that, sniping is like surprisingly a lot easier, but at the same time, movement is way more important. But at the same time, it's easier to counter movement because of the bigger hitboxes, if you feel me. Moving on next, we have overall awareness and game sense. So this happens with over time, once again, as like many things. But you want to know where, like, how the map works, right? A good place to start is where you, most of the time, unless there's certain places you can spawn, and unless your whole team is covering every spawn point or is really close to every spawn point, they'll like, see no one's over there, so they'll probably, yeah, they spawned over there. They spawned in that general area because no one was over there, and my teammate just died because he's trying to push there. So using that, you can know easily where your enemies are. Okay, so someone's probably spawning up here potentially. So I'm gonna look here. There could be someone I'm coming upstairs. No, my teammate spawned there, so they could probably be down here. Let's see. All right, coming up here now. No teammates were here before, so yeah, someone is there, and someone was down here. Someone was down there. So using that, another good thing is knowing where people are gonna be. So you can understand hotspots. Right here, this is a huge hotspot. Snipers generally like to hold up here and here quite a fair amount. So you gotta like understand where people want to play and general positioning. You wanna know how to isolate angles so that you can have the best advantage in fights. And while that is technically part of positioning, I like to consider it a part of game sense and awareness, because if you have quote-unquote good game sense, but then your positioning's poor, you're not going to get much out of it because you're still going to die. Oh, I know he's there. You still die because you have poor positioning, even if you knew he was there. But all of these tie in together and become very important. Now for specific weapons, if you're really new and you don't know what you want to play, you kind of just have to think. Like, you want to think about your strengths and what you want to achieve. Do you want to be high movement? Do you want to be high damage? Like, do you want to be able to one-shot easily and like get crazy multi-kills? Then I'd probably suggest either AR or sniper. The reason being is even though AR is not a one-shot, you can go crazy because the headshot damage is really strong actually if you can hit those headshots. Sniper then is what I mean. It's arguably one of the most fun classes in the game. And it's a bit high skill, but if you can hit those headshots, then it's like crazy good. But then if you like, of course you want to have body movement, you go for this. Overall, if you're not too confident, if you want to play AR, but like you're feeling, oh, I'm low on ammo and the recoil is a bit annoying, you can play SMG. But overall, when it comes to easier classes to learn, SMG and AR at the top, but SMG is the easiest class to learn. However, when you get better, arguably, it becomes the worst class. And the reason it becomes the worst class is because you have the lowest time to kill, and yeah, overall, you purely rely on hitting headshots. And while it's not bad, nothing is bad in this game. Stuff like sniper with the one-shot capability, the shotgun having movement, and then the AR just doing more damage, it kind of gets outweighed from all that stuff. But a tip for every class, so with movement for shotguns, you kind of want to just abuse the B-hop as much as possible. If you feel like you're dying even before you can get close, you might want to work on your positioning and also making sure you aren't pushing many enemies at once. Even if you have crazy like hops, you're still probably gonna get shot down if there's like too many enemies, especially since you might just get one and you die immediately too because the fire rate and ammo. If you're playing, but one thing to note is snipers will be your worst enemies as long as they're good. However, you can use your B-hop well, unless once again they're good, because the movement of the B-hop is very predictable. Because it doesn't have a scaling, depending on how you time it, it's pretty much always the same unless you just like really mess up the timing. So because of that, it can be very predictable. But against beginners, however, that are using sniper, even though it's like not beginner friendly, yeah, you can do pretty good against them. So just try to abuse hops, try to get close range, and work on positioning as much as possible. You can also at times, if you're holding an objective, hold a corner like angle like this, and when you're fighting someone like at range, you just want to like air strafe like as I was doing there and just try weave and dodge as much as possible till you're within range, and then try to do something. Once again, you can combine this with hops. Your main goal is just movement as much as possible and then get them teammate like that there pretty much. For AR, you just want to be working on, you want to have like understand how the recoil works. Because someone kill me please. Hey, kill me, thank you. Alright, when using AR, you may notice there's actually recoil, and look, it's a fair amount, but if you learn to control it, because it only climbs up a little bit and doesn't keep climbing after the initial climb, and it has pretty good range and headshot damage. You just gotta learn how to like preserve your ammo and how to hit headshots. Like, don't necessarily fire. Make sure you're on their head when you start firing, because you actually, like, you see from that, I was like on 10 ammo, and you can lose ammo fast, and it has a pretty, I think it's about the same length, but you really do not want to be caught when reloading your AR. It sucks. Hitting headshots is pretty much necessary, which is why you need to know how to control the recoil. So overall, just try practice pulling down on the recoil as much as you can. I'm not perfect at it, but like, you want to just work on that. You want to work on crosshair placement too, and just hitting headshots. Like, hitting the first headshot in the fight pretty much just means you win more often than not. And overall, I guess you just got to get better at everything. Like, it's one of those all-rounder things where it requires a bit of everything, but aim is especially useful because of the headshot. At very close range, you can, you shouldn't do it at this range. Hip firing in this range is useless. But if you're, say, about this range, hip firing is actually fireable. That kind of goes for SMG as well. But, now moving on to SMG, if I can get killed real quick. Hi, thank you. If you decide to play SMG, I don't know why you would, but maybe you just feel it. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good laser beam, but you need pretty much the same skill set as AR, except for controlling recoil. You pretty much do a bit less damage, but you're a laser beam, and you have a lot more ammo. However, your damage is very lackluster, and because of how much, that took about 15 bullets for that single guy right there. You pretty much have, you can at times, if you're finishing people off, you can have better ammo conservation, but if you are like hitting inconsistent headshots or something, yeah, you see right there, even though I started hitting him first, oh, it looks like it at least, he was able to get me because he outdamaged me. To get better overall, you kind of just need the same skill set. You need to get good at everything pretty much. I can't give too many tips for this other than specifically aim for headshots, because you see how many, that took so long with body shots here. Yeah, that took, you could see how much, how little damage I was doing. Body shots here, it does nothing pretty much. You want to be hitting headshots, same with AR. But I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty lackluster class. There's not much to it. It's the most basic of the basic. Now, the sniper, what I main, generally, it's a bit of a tough one to, you want to just get really good aim. Movement is great and all, but when it comes to movement for sniper, all you really need to know how to do, what to do, is just jet dash pretty much. That's all you gotta learn how to do. I mean, other stuff like jumping around corners like this is good for countering other snipers or people that are camping corners. But actually, yeah, one thing I can give as advice: if you're not that confident in your aim, or you feel like you're inconsistent with your aim, just calm down. I don't tend to do it a lot, mainly because I'm more confident with my aim now. But when I was starting out with sniper and I was really bad on my aim, I would just remind myself, okay, make sure that 100% you're on their head. Oh, make sure 100% that you're on their head before you actually do anything, right? When it comes to aiming, you can either look at your crosshair or look at their head. It works, whatever. But I tend to just look at the target as much as I can. It works with whatever's for you, but since it's a movement game and a lot of people tend to jump around corners, it really sucks. Because of that, I think you should try hard focus on only the head. Alright? In close range too, you can actually get away with hip firing, but only if you're very close. About this range, I could probably hip fire. That range, I can't hip fire. That range, I can't hip fire. But if that's about this range, I can definitely hip fire. And if you aim it right, that can be a headshot like that. Quick scoping isn't too effective on, I mean, you can still relatively quick scope, but there's a weird delay between your inaccuracy. It's a really weird inaccuracy. Also, another thing is you can't jump shoot like this. You see that? It's very inaccurate when you jump shoot. Yeah. I mean, at least it feels inaccurate. When you're doing that, you kind of, I recommend using 1x multiplier for your sensitivity. Oh yeah, another tip, whenever you're fighting against shotgun there, you should be trying to either, you should be trying to distance yourself, right? So you should be trying to dash back like this. Goodness, he's just strafing around. What is he doing? Shit. Alright. But yeah, you should just be trying to overall just distance yourself back. A good thing is if there's a shotgun guy right there, you'd want to do that. Back off the corner, then hold the corner. Even though people like to play really aggressive with sniper like myself, you should never underestimate the power of just holding an angle. Especially because if they don't jump it because they're not expecting you, that's a free kill. And even if they do jump it, if you have good enough aim, because of the hitboxes, you can easily punish them. You should, when it comes to peeking, I tend to jump peek like that, but you can always slow peek if you have enough confidence in your reaction time and in your crosshair placement, right? you should always vary them up. But however, if you are fighting against another sniper in a sniper duel, you should probably jump, because even though there is peeker's advantage, at the same time, you tend to be seen first if you're closer to the angle. At least if they're unpeaked, right, you're close against the wall like this, but then they're peeking. They see you first before you see them. It depends on where they're positioned. If they're positioned over there and I peek like this, they most of the time they can see me first. Hold on, if they're like there and I peek like this, they can see me first. However, if they're like over there more so, and like pretend if we do like this and they're over there, they can still see me first. It depends if they're on the same type of wall as you or not. So you gotta be mindful of that, but they can sometimes see you first. You gotta keep in mind of angle advantage, disadvantage. However, most people are bad at this game, so don't worry about it too much. Just be aware of it as overall positioning. That's pretty much it. However, if you see me like in game, T-Free Lime, feel free to say hi, I guess. If this video did help you, please leave a like. I haven't done a video on this ever, probably won't ever again, but I didn't see people talking about it, and I tend to just solo my friends in 2v1, so yeah, I thought I should make a video on it. So take care, bye.